Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer 40,000, and today we're going to take a look at the Genestealer cults and their Combat Patrol box set. Now in this video, we're going to go through the contents of the Combat Patrol box set, talk a little bit about everything that comes inside of this box, how we can build the particular units up, and what they do on the tabletop briefly, before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list to hopefully give you some inspiration to start your own Genestealer cult. The sample army list will be 1,000 points, so a nice points value to get you started within the game. Now, let's get talking about the units inside this box set, and the first unit here is the character we get inside the box set called the Magus. This is the character you can see on the larger base in the front and center of the picture. Now the Magus has the Major Stave, which is a psychic weapon, 3 attacks, 3+ to hit, strength 5, -1 AP, damage D3, pretty standard. But you also have the Spiritual Leader. While this model is leading a unit, you can give a Feel No Pain 5+ against psychic attacks. Then this model can lead your Acolyte Hybrids, Hybrid Metamorphs, and Neophyte Hybrids, all of which you'll have options for within this box set. On top of that, you have the Mind Control Psychic Power, where at the start of your opponent's shooting phase, one Psycho model from your army with this ability can use it. If used, you select an enemy unit within 12 inch and visible to the Psycho and roll 1d6. On a 1, the Psycho will suffer D3 mortal wounds. On a 2 to 5 until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that enemy unit makes an attack, you subtract 1 from the hit roll. However, on a 6, the enemy unit is not eligible to shoot at all in the phase instead. You've also got some Psychic Familiars, where once per battle at the start of any of your opponent's shooting phases, this model can use its Psychic Familiar. If it does, until the end of the phase, double the range of its Mind Control ability. Now, we then have some Neophyte Hybrids, and we get 20 of them in this box set. These are sort of your basic red shirts for the Force. They are going to have quite a variety of different weapons available to them, able to take 2 heavy weapons in every 10 models and 2 special weapons, so you can get 4 different cool weapons in every unit, plus your leader can also have a power weapon, and you've got the ability to take a cult icon on another model. Now what the cult icon does is in the reinforcement steps of movement phase, you can return up to 3 destroyed models to the bearer's unit. If the bearer's unit is within range of an objective marker you control, you return D3 plus 3 destroyed models instead, and this ability cannot be used, however, to return characters that have been attached to said units. The special rule you get for the Neophyte Hybrids is a planned generations in the making, where at the start of your command phase you roll 1d6 for each objective marker you control that has 1 or more units with this ability within range of it, and for each of the dice there that's a 4+, you'll gain an extra command point, which is pretty darn solid. Now the next unit we have is actually a dual kit, and this is a dual kit first of all between the Acolyte Hybrids and the Hybrid Metamorphs. Now Acolyte Hybrids are a little bit more of a dedicated combat unit. You're going to have the option to take 2 different special weapons in the unit, which could be a heavy mining tool, which is going to give you 2 attacks in melee, a weapon skill 3+, strength 10, -2 AP, damage 3, or you can also take demolition charges, which are a one-shot item per game, but it is going to be D6 plus 3 attacks with strength of 12, -2 AP, damage 2, so pretty nice stuff. Now you've also got the option for a cult icon in them, with the same particular rule as we have for the Neophyte Hybrids, but you've also got Vile Insurrectionist as a special rule as well, where each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you re-roll the hit roll of 1, and if they're attacking an enemy unit within range of an objective, you can just re-roll the wound roll of 1 as well, so getting the ability to re-roll 1s on both hits and wounds if you're fighting something on an objective is super nice. And the other option for that particular kit is the Hybrid Metamorphs. Now, Hybrid Metamorphs are going to have a couple of options. You can give a bunch of hand flamers to the unit, and you can also have a cult icon in the unit as well. They've got this Savage Amalgam, where each time a model in this unit is destroyed by a melee attack, if that model is not yet fought, you roll a d6. On a 3+, you don't remove it, and that model can instead fight before it is removed from play. They do have some cool abilities here with their Metamorph mutations, where they can either make a strike or sweep attack, so they can gain some extra attacks for less damage, or, the less attacks with a more damaging profile. Now the next unit we get is the Aberrants. These are the models at the top left of the picture. They're effectively big, giant, heavy hitters. Now the unit has one particular option where the unit's leader, the Aberrant Hypermorph, can have a heavy improvised power weapon, which is 5 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 6, no AP and damage 2. And it changes this out for the heavy power weapon, which is 3 attacks, on a 3+, strength 8, -2 AP, damage 3. So it gets more attacks, but no AP and a little bit less damage. But you've also got the Hypermorph Tail, which gives you an extra attack at strength 5 for every model in the unit due to the extra attacks rule. Hulking bodyguards mean while the character is leading this unit, though, each time a attack targets this unit, if the strength characteristic of the attack is greater than the toughness of this unit, you subtract 1 from the wound roll. Now lastly, we have the Goliath Rock Grinder and Goliath Truck, which is another dual kit inside this box set, which is pretty darn cool, getting 2 dice dual kits within the set. The Goliath Rock Grinder is the base sort of tank you have for the Force, and it's going to have a nice toughness of 10 with 10 wounds, and you've got an option of 3 different main heavy weapons for it. The first of these, which is the standard one, is the Heavy Seismic Cannon, which can be a nice little profile of 4 attacks, 4+ to hit, strength 8, -2 AP, damage D3. A heavy mining laser with blast there for D6 +1 damage at strength 12, though D3 attacks. Or you can go a clearance incinerator for a nice 2d6 torrent ability attack with strength 6 and -1 AP, so pretty nice. The last thing we have is the alternate option, which is building a Goliath Truck. This is a transport that can transport up to 12 Genestealer Cult infantry models, though it can't transport a Patriarch. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where do we go to next for our Force? The first one I like to look at is the Calamorph. I think he's a really interesting character to bring along. A lone operative, he doesn't join any units. And he's got his Liberator auto stubbers, where he has a 12-inch range with 6 attacks, 2+ to hit, strength 5, no AP, damage 1. But he does have devastating wounds, pistol, precision, and sustained hits D3 on him, so he can really put out some decent firepower. Now you've got a couple of special rules. First of all, the Gunslinger, each time an enemy unit targets a friendly Genestealer Cult's battle line within 3 inches of this model, it can shoot as if it were your shooting phase back at them. And cometh the out, cometh the hero. When this model is set up during Deep Strike, if it's set up within 3 inch horizontally of a friendly Genestealer Cult's battle line unit, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 3 inch from enemy units, but if it's set up 9 inch horizontally of an enemy unit, it's not eligible to declare a charge within the first turn, but can come in and do some nice supporting shooting fire. Now, our next box set here is actually called the Brood Coven box set, and this does contain a Patriarch. If you wanted to just pick up the Patriarch by itself, you wouldn't get the cool little markers here. You certainly could just pick up a Brood Lord as well, but I think the Patriarch box set here is really cool. Gives you a second Magus in there, your 2 little Psychic Familiars, and it will give you another model as well in the Primus. Now, the Patriarch itself is really nice. Toughness 5 with 6 wounds. Patriarch Claws are really good damaging weapons. It's got the Might from Beyond, where if it's leading a unit, it can give them devastating wounds. Cosmic Horror means you can force enemy to take battle shock tests at the start of the fight phase. And the Psychic Familiar can also help its Cosmic Horror range get boosted as well. Now, it can join Pure Strain Genestealers, which are a unit we'll talk about in just a sec. But on a little aside, let's talk about the Primus, because we do get the model inside this box set. He is going to have the Cult Demagogue rule, where if he's leading a unit, it'll get rerolls to its hits, which is pretty darn cool. It can lead Acolyte Hybrids, Hybrid Metamorphs, and Nearfire Hybrids, so all your base sort of units for the Genestealer Cults. And you've also got Decoys and Misdirection as well, where if your army includes one or more models with this ability, after both players are deployed, you can select up to 3 Genestealer Cult units and redeploy them, or even put them into Strategic Reserve. Now we then have Pure Strain Genestealers. They're definitely going to be one of the more punchy units we have in the Force. 4 attacks each with weapon skill 2+, strength 4, -2 AP, damage 1. And Swift and Deadly means they can also declare a charge in a turn in which they advance. So just super nice, solid unit all around. Lastly, I want to talk about the Outland Jackals, because I definitely think they're one of the more interesting units we have, and one of the more iconic looking units, having some bikes like these inside your Force. The Outland Jackals, they have a variety of different special weapons they can take in their unit, which is pretty cool. You can also give them some power weapons, which is nice. And, you know, they can also take some wolf quads as well, so you can get a variety of different fast-moving vehicles. Now, Outrider Gangs means they can use the Cult Ambush to set up back on the battlefield. In addition to the normal rules, all of its models must be set up wholly within 6 inches of the battlefield edge. At least one model must be touching a Cult Ambush markers to do so, but Demolition Run also allows you, when this unit ends a normal move, you can select an enemy unit within 6 inch and visible. Roll a d6 for each model in this unit. For each 4+, the enemy unit will suffer a mortal wound. And so here we have our little sample army list of the Genestealer cults. Obviously, going with a detachment, Ascension Day here is the detachment we've got available at the moment. A Kelemorph in there, Magus and Patriarch, who will be our Warlord, is going to round out the force. We then have for Battle Line a unit of Neophyte Hybrids, sticking them in a big blob of 20. There'll be a nice solid core. We've gone for the leader with pistol and power weapon there. And then he's also got a cult icon in the unit, along with 2 mining lasers, then 1 of each other heavy weapon and a heavy stubber and seismic cannon, and then 2 grenade launchers with a flamer and weber. Now, the reason we've gone for the grenade launchers and mining lasers, they are the best anti-tank, and we definitely lack a bit of that in the rest of the force, so definitely worth putting them in here. We then have 2 units of Acolyte Hybrids, both with the Hand Flamer and Leader Cult weapons on the Acolyte Leaders. We then have Hand Flamers and Cult Icons, Demolition Charge and Heavy Mining Tool, along with a Hand Flamer wielder at the end of both units. Our Aberrants will have the heavy improvised weapon on the Aberrant Hypermorph, 10 Pure Strain Genestealers in there as well, along with the Rock Grinder there with a heavy mining laser for a perfect 1,000 points of the Genestealer cults. Now, if you've played some games with Genestealer cults in 10th edition, if you've got some ideas on what you would add to the initial box set, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there, like Baron of Dice, Gap Games or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description, and as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold and Andy C, and our YouTube members: Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Loric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.